Diving is a growing sport around the world, with dive schools available at many holiday destinations. But UK waters are much colder than the tropics, so you need more protective clothing or dry suits, and so you dive with more weight. UK waters are also greener, so your training is even more important. All too often, the Coastguard and rescue services are called to incidents which could have easily been avoided. Ken Baisley is the diving liaison officer for Her Majesty's Coastguard.
The Maritime and Coastguard Agency work closely with diver training organisations to promote safe diving practices. Many diving incidents are avoidable, but if things do go wrong, it is vital to inform the Coastguard of the problem as soon as possible. Be it a missing diver, a diver feeling unwell, or a broken down dive vessel, whatever the problem, make that call.
Trevor Maynard is an experienced diving instructor. We asked what his advice would be to keep safe when diving.
Well, as a professional diving instructor, there are a few basic guidelines that I'd recommend for people to follow to avoid diving incidents at sea. The most important of which is to be appropriately trained for the diving that you're going to be doing. It's very important that equipment is maintained annually. Whether it's been used or whether it hasn't been used, it still requires servicing. It's very important to make sure you have the appropriate equipment and the appropriate safety equipment with you for the dive that you're going to be doing. Shore cover or boat cover also needs to be provided and thought about pre-dive. Pre-dive checks need to be followed, and function checks before the divers hit the water.
Yep, good. Thank you.
One of the easy ones to remember is plan the dive and dive the plan. Deviations from the plan inevitably result in mistakes, and mistakes underwater can, in some instances, be fatal. Well, decompression sickness, or the bends, is caused by going down too deep, staying down too long, or by coming up too fast. If the diver comes up too quickly, then nitrogen fizzes in the bloodstream, causing bubbles in the joints, pain, can even cause death. Fast descents can be caused by accidentally losing a weight belt, mismanaging air supply, inadequately setting off delayed S&B. All of these things can cause a diver to come to the surface too quickly and instigate the bends. The blue and white flag, the A flag, signifies that there are divers in the area. It can be flown from a surface marker buoy, which indicates the diver's position in the water, or indeed it might be flown from the rib where the divers are diving from. What it means is, to other boat users, stay away. There are divers in the water who may be surfacing underneath your vessel, and if you haven't got a propeller guard on, or you could even just hit them with the hull of the boat and do them damage. So if you see an A flag, stay well away from it. Sometimes you'll see the long yellow or orange sausages being dragged around a dive site. Again, there's a diver under each of those, and it's the diver marking their position so that boat traffic avoids them. In real terms, there should be no solo diving. The expression used to be that if you dive alone, then you can die alone. The idea is you always have a buddy with you at all times, and ideally shore cover or boat cover as well. If you have a buddy with you and you run out of air, you can use their alternate air source to get you safely to the surface. If there's an equipment failure, you can share the equipment and again get yourself safely to the surface. If you're on your own, you can't. When divers are using a rib as a dive platform, the rib should be driven by an RYA Level 2 powerboat handler, ideally also a diver so he understands what's going on under the water as well. The rib should be carrying all the normal safety features recommended by the MCA. In the unlikely event that something does go wrong, the skipper of the boat, the coxswain of the boat, should make a mayday on Channel 16 and follow Coastguard advice. It's imperative that a diver plans the dive not just in terms of depth and time, but also in terms of gas supplies. Every diver carries one of these, which literally tells him how much air is left remaining in the cylinder. The red bit is the dangerous bit. If you get down to there, get out. Nice and simple. Very important to carry adequate gas supplies, and I can't emphasize enough that training is required. Down at 30 meters, 4 atmospheres of water pressure, you're going to be burning your air 4 times faster than on the surface. A diver needs to know this, so the training is important.
I became interested in diving because one year I was on holiday and saw it on a local beach advertised. So when I came back to the UK, I found my local dive centre and got the right kind of training to do the sport. I'd really stress that it's very important to get the right kind of training if you're going to take up the sport, just for your own safety.
The important things are to get trained, get qualified, but if things do go wrong, don't hesitate, call the Coastguard.